Thank you for joining us on the virtual Walk for Respectful Relationships for 2021. I'm Marty Benson, Principal of Woolooware High School.
And I'm Chris Futcher-Coles, founder of Stay Safe Australia. We'd like to begin this virtual event with an acknowledgement of country.
Hello, my name is Danielle. I'm a proud Aboriginal woman from the Yuin and Worimi nations on the south and north coast of New South Wales. I acknowledge that I am standing on the Gweagal people's land of the Dharawal Nation. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to all traditional owners and elders on which the lands you may be joining us today. I acknowledge the unique, continuous, strong connection that First Nations people have with this land. I extend my respect to Aboriginal and non-Indigenous people joining us today.
While this is the second year we're meeting virtually, we are still determined to take this opportunity to speak out about the need for respectful relationships.
This year we are encouraging everyone to call out, to speak out, to help out. Let's call out behaviours and conversations that are disrespectful. Despite intentions, the resulting disrespect is not acceptable and needs to be challenged. You need to know that your individual voice can make a difference.
Let's speak out to your family, peers, friends, teachers and professionals when needed. If you see, hear or feel disrespected, you need to speak up and seek support. People will listen and respect you for having the courage to speak up.
Let's help out. If someone you know asked you for help, ensure you believe them. Support them in seeking services. That could include 1-800-RESPECT. And for all emergencies, call 000.
As Principal of Woolooware High School, today and every day, I want my school community to call out, speak out and help out. I've asked principals of the many schools joining us virtually today who are advocating for change in their communities to share a filmed message to show their support.
Hello everyone, I'm Christine Campbell, the Principal of Kirrawee High School. I want my school community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm James Kozlowski and I'm the Principal of Endeavour Sports High School, and I want my school community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm Jo Graham and I'm the Principal of Kurnell Public School, and I want my school community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm Alan McLean and I am the Principal of Caringbah High School, and I am calling on my school community to call out, to speak out and help out.
I'm Narelle Smith, Principal Grays Point School, and I want my community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm Clint White, Principal of Sylvania Heights Public School. I want my community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm Jodie MacDonald. I'm the Relieving Principal at Martin Public School, and I would like my school community to call out, speak out and help out.
I'm Trent Bridgen and the Principal at Cronulla Public School, and I want my school community to call out, speak out, help out.
I'm Renee Holes and I'm Principal of Sylvania High School, and I want my school community to call out, speak out and help out.
We now have a short film by a local school that speaks to this issue.
Acceptance of gender inequality begins when we are children and contributes to sexist gender norms.
This creates a society where men are dominant and women are valued less. During lockdown this year, there was a 67% increase of reporting of domestic violence to support services.
This could mean that these levels have increased. However, we are hopeful that the increase in these levels are a result of more people getting the message and speaking out against these incidents.
We always need to call it out because behaviours like that is just disrespectful, and we need to break the cycle.
It's the duty of our generation to challenge disrespect, especially in regards to our best friends. Lots of people may be a culprit, but that doesn't matter. We have to challenge this and encourage respectful relationships.
Examples of calling out are stopping fights in a playground rather than spectating, stopping bullying, and not staying silent on public transport.
you see, hear, or feel disrespected, you need to speak out and seek support.
We need to have the courage to speak up to break the cycle of violence.
Examples of people that you can speak out to are your school counsellor, your teachers, and your friends.
If somebody that you know asks for your help in a situation like this, making sure that they feel comfortable and giving them options for support services is one of the simplest things that you can do.
Some examples of services that can support people are Beyond Blue, Kids Helpline, New South Wales Domestic Violence Line, and the Sutherland Shire Family Services.
It is incumbent upon us in the next generation to break the cycle of disrespect and violence.
We asked some people from our community why they think it's important to call out, speak out, and help out. Here are their thoughts.
On occasions like this, we reflect on the lives lost through the tragedy of domestic and family violence. We reflect on the trauma for victim survivors and their families, and we reflect on our collective responsibility to tackle this scourge once and for all, right across Australia, right across New South Wales, and here in the Sutherland Shire.
As members of a community of any size, we each individually have a responsibility to stand up, speak out, and stand up alongside people who are experiencing injustices. Family and domestic violence is one of Australia's greatest threats, and we need to work really hard together and very consciously towards a future where every home and every family in Australia is a place of safety and comfort and security, as they should be. And so to do that, we all have a role to play. We all need to offer our skill sets and our energy and our time to fight for that justice to be seen.
Hi, I'm Brad Chilcott, Executive Director of White Ribbon Australia. Men's violence against women is an ongoing epidemic of harm in our homes, workplaces, and communities. It's not going to stop until we create a new normal, a new shared understanding of how we all treat one another as equals, sharing our power and giving unconditional respect. That's why we all need to call out, speak out, and help out when we see disrespect, harassment, abuse, or discrimination. We need to uphold the standard we'd like to be treated with if we're ever going to see a future where women and children are free from all forms of men's violence and abuse. The reality is this: that freedom will come when men stop choosing violence and abuse. It's that simple, and also that complex. To turn this around requires real social and cultural transformation, and that means we need you. Every person, every community, every school, every workplace, every sports club, and every government to commit to being part of that change. We need men who choose to be part of the solution, addressing attitudes, expectations, and behaviours that uphold inequality and excuse disrespect, and who have the tools they need to bring about change, first in ourselves, then in our friendship circles, community, and society.
Hi everyone, I'm Jade Lindsay, the Project Manager for Toolbox Talks, which is a program of the Family Co, delivering domestic violence awareness and prevention training all over Australia. And it is so important that we call out, that we speak out, and we help out, because victims of domestic violence need to know that they are believed, need to know that there is support available, and people who use violence need to know that we don't tolerate that. That violence in intimate relationships is not normal and it is not okay, and that behaviour needs to change. So when we are silent, things can escalate. But when we call out, speak out, and help out, we're working together as a community to improve safety.
Why is it important to speak out against disrespect? Well, I was thinking it's the third decade already of the 21st century. And things have really changed quite a lot over the last 10 or 20 years, certainly against the last century, because it's now okay for people to speak out. It's now okay and people should take action. Yes, we've all been under enormous stress the last 12, 18 months. I know I have been. Anxiety levels are high, stress levels are high. But violence is never okay under any circumstances. Certainly not against women or girls. That's a cowardice act. So let's call out behaviours and conversations that are disrespectful. Let's speak to our family, our peers, our friends and our teachers if we need to, and let's help out. If someone is asking for help, first of all, ensure you believe them and then help them get help. Because individual actions matter, but together we can make a huge difference.
It is my privilege to introduce my school captains for 2022 who wanted to add their voice to this important cause.
From a young age, respect is taught by our parents, teachers, sporting icons and people in power. But I stand here today and as I reflect on the devastating statistics, I must question if it is understood. Why are we allowing our families, friends and peers to be affected by the cruelty of abuse? Domestic violence is the silent killer that is affecting the lives of far too many people. After years of conversation, we still have a long way to go. 1 in 6 Australian women have fallen victim to physical or sexual abuse from a partner, and 1 in 4 women have experienced emotional abuse. The harsh reality of these statistics is understanding we are a part of them. In the average classroom of 30 students, potentially 6 people are affected by domestic violence, which is unacceptable. This number needs to be reduced to 0, and we are the ones who can make that happen. I'd like to take your mind back to the simple word respect. A respectful relationship will look different to everyone. To me, it incorporates trust, good communication, understanding, and honesty. Placing respect at the forefront of every relationship is essential in creating the change we need, the change that will eliminate domestic violence and the suffering of the people we care about most. Moving forward, we must do 3 things. Firstly, we need to call out disrespectful behaviours and conversations when we see them. Whether it's on the playground or in the home, unacceptable actions need to be challenged. By doing so, we can establish a new standard of behaviour that is based on respect and that will prevent the same disrespect in the future. Secondly, we must speak out to our families, friends, peers and teachers. If you hear, see or feel disrespected, know that you have a support network around you that will admire your bravery and work with you to make necessary changes you deserve. Finally, we shall help out if you or someone you know needs help. It can be as simple as listening to victims and letting them know their voice is heard, or supporting victims in seeking help from school counsellors, trusted adults, the domestic violence helpline or the kids helpline. The change we need begins today and it starts with us. By speaking out, calling out and helping out, we will create respectful relationships and I strongly believe together we will put an end to domestic violence.
Together, over the past 2 years, we've been through some of the toughest and most confronting times of our lives. In some way, we've each been affected by the pandemic, and these changes have impacted the way we function, behave and think. Both our optimism and resilience have been tested, though it's these circumstances that awake within us the understanding and empathy that makes these moments so much more powerful and more resonant. Respect is the foundation of all healthy relationships. It's the basis of every interaction we make and every conversation we have. Though the definition of a respectful relationship changes for every person. For some, it's a simple act of listening to opinions. It's valuing and accepting people for who they are. It's treating them as mutuals. For me, respect is acknowledging the people in my life and what they do for me. It's shown in the way I communicate with my friends, family, peers, teachers, and the people in my community. Without the strength of this respect, our relationships cannot grow or develop, and the very glue that binds us together is dissolved. Disrespect in domestic relationships is a catalyst of violence and anger, mistrust and hostility. It's this behaviour and emotion that causes 1 Australian woman to die every 9 days at the hands of their current or former partner. It's this behaviour that leads to 1/3 of Australian women, aged between 18 and 24, experiencing sexual assault. It's this behaviour that fuels domestic violence, and it's this behaviour which needs to be changed. Part of this problem, however, is also the lack of knowledge and education about the types and consequences of disrespect and domestic abuse. Younger populations experience heightened levels of abuse or assault, highlighting the need for increased awareness and action in our community. It is in these younger populations that 1 in 6 Australian women experience abuse before the age of 15, and it's these young girls that will suffer higher rates of social and emotional torment than other kids. Respect starts in our homes, in our schools, in our playgrounds and in our community. It starts in the places where we grow, where we develop and where we're nurtured. It is these places that teach us our own understanding of respect. And as I reflect on what this means to me, what I should do to show it, and what I can do to help others, I ask you to do the same. Thank you.
Thank you to all those who have joined us this year for the Walk for Respectful Relationships. We encourage you to go for a walk within your community, take a photo with your colleagues, friends or family, and share on socials using the hashtags.
We also encourage you to find other ways you can support the cause in your community. Remember, there is help available if you or someone you know needs it. Resources and contacts for local support services for those affected by domestic and family abuse can be found on our website.
And if you are a student, please remember your teachers, year advisors, and your welfare team, deputies, or even principals are always available to help. We would like to encourage and thank the organisations involved in the local committee that made this event possible. I would also like to thank the schools for supporting this cause and choosing to get involved. Your support is very important and much appreciated.
So today and every day, let's continue to call out, speak out, and help out those who need it. Let's have the courage to listen, support, and challenge behaviour that is not respectful.
Together, we can encourage respectful relationships in our community. Thank you.